Ankwatira banjanga bani mama. Ankwatira banjanga bani mama. Ankwatira banjanga bani mama.
This is a radio program made by community members of mine-affected areas around Tete in Mozambique. Coal mining companies such as the Brazilian Valley is making a lot of troubles for us. And it is very rare that local people get a job at the mine. Instead, we are just getting bad consequences of mining. We will now take you on a tour for 4 communities. We will start with Bagamoyo. Isaac Antonio Sampagna and myself, Zeri Fakwaron, will describe the area where we live.
Aqui simplesmente estamos a ver que essa gente são pessoas que não querem colaborar ou não querem o bem-estar do povo.
So he's saying that these people are not contributing for the welfare of the local people here. Actually, they're contributing for their own interests. So if they were interested in seeing these people developing, they would just give them space to continue with their activities as they proceed with their activities as well.
The mine it's just 2 kilometers from here, and actually at the front side it's a big fence whereby people cannot be allowed to go in. The fence it's quite high, about 5 meters high.
Esse aqui é muro que eles puseram. Esse muro está bloqueando.
No, this fence is blocking them and animals to go through the other part where they used to practice their activities.
Todos os tijolos foram fechados.
He's saying that their brick making, they stopped doing their brick making because they were doing brick making here. Mbali na fence chukuchitika nkate mundeshani.
Lá no outro lado lá simplesmente estão fazendo a mina, mas a mina está pouco longe, não está aqui.
Yeah, so the mine actually is something like 2 km from here. So this way they're forbidden, the local communities. They're blocked and they cannot go in to crop their cultures. They cannot practice their breaking activities, and animals also cannot go there for their food source as well.
Right, in front of me I'm seeing 4 little kids. They're bathing in the river, which is coming from the mine. Akuti ndi chani malo amene mumagwisa ntchito mumamva bwanji?
Quando nós chegamos aqui, sempre nós apanhamos nervos. A nossa intenção é de expulsar.
What he's saying is that every time they came here, they feel humiliated because what the company is doing since 2009 is inhuman. So sometimes they think about every time they come here, they have the idea to burn all of this, but they try to not doing this.
We will now go to Kateme, where the community was removed because of the mine. The new houses they got is falling apart. Horacio Levene, who lives in the area, tells more.
Qual é o problema que vocês têm com as casas que foram construídas para vocês no reassentamento da Vale?
Rindi mavuto mazinji chifukwa yalibu kukonzewa bwino nyumbazo.
He's saying that the houses which were built, they're not strong enough. They have only stayed for a shorter period, and they have cracks. And they even reported this to the government and the company Valley, but they didn't even bother to help them at all. This problem has been ever since 4 years ago, and they even reported the problem to them for 4 times, but they didn't get any help.
Tatamala bzimwedzo wala zikonza nyumba zile so zibe kuti zikhale bwino.
After they reported their problems with these houses, they tried to renovate their houses, but not fully. Some they got 3,500 metcash, and 106 houses didn't get any help. Mukumva bwanji pa mavuto amene wa nyumba.
Ni mavuto mbili chifuka nyumbazo zina mikeke.
The houses which they built for them, they're not strong enough. They've got cracks, and whenever it's raining, water comes in. It goes through their houses, so they've got that problem recently.
If
as a solution to them, they asked the company to build them other houses than the old ones, proper houses in fact, because they're not strong enough to stay maybe for 5 to 10 years more. So they're asking the company to build these houses for them, or they should give them money to build their own. Without wasting any time, we will continue our tour to the problems made by heavy coal mining in Tete. In Tete, people are suffering from not being able to let their kids to go to school anymore, because the area where the school once was, in the village of Chipanga, is now removed and the school is bulldozed. Nothing is there anymore, not even a hospital. So the community of Tete is left with a bad road that hardly can be used by cars. Arista Julio, who lives in Tete, is very angry about the situation. She wants her children and grandchildren to be able to go to school.
Ine vano ndikafuna kuti boma kuti likhulupirire ife pano pompano litichose tikakhale mbuto zinango thangwe popano tiri kubonera kale azungu.
She's saying that she would like to be helped with the government and even the Valley Company to think about us, because we are suffering here. Because when they were not here, like this company Valley, when they were not here, we were not suffering, but nowadays we are suffering too much.
Another problem in Tete is that the coal mine now pollutes the river that the community used for drinking, cooking, and washing. There is no other water access than the river water in the community. Arista Julio wants her community to be removed.
Avale likafuna kuti tuauze kulwa kuti iwo na tifunduse popano.
She would like to say at the Valley Company to take us here to other place, safety place.
A huge problem in the area of Tete is that many communities are facing lack of land and farming possibilities after the mining business took over. The community with the name 25 de Setembro was promised 2-hectare land when they were relocated, but instead they got money because there is no farmland at the new area. People who were depending on farming are now out of both money they got from selling food at the market, and they are now also eating much less healthy food when they can't farm themselves. Fernando John, who lives in 25 Setembro, explains the situation.
Todos nós lá fomos tirados de Espanga, tínhamos as nossas machambas, as nossas matas, que aproveitávamos.
Saying that their loss of land made them not to have to do their agricultural activities, and where they have been moved to, they can't even do the agricultural activities like growing maize, in general food for their family and for selling.
Nós fomos tirados. Quando nós fomos tirados lá, Espanga, de tudo que eu estou a falar, lá a terra estava muito bem.
His complaint is that these have really affected their life. They were asked by Valley to move if they want to continue with their agricultural activities. They can go and buy their own land, and because of that they were given 19,250 mets for them to have a chance to buy another land, but that wasn't even closer to the town. They had to move out of the town. They are still staying at the 25 Setembro without enough food. Hence, they can't produce any agricultural materials. You have been listening to a radio program made by us community members who lives in the mining affected areas in Tete, Mozambique. We are thankful for the support from the organizations Ajotase, Benchmarks Foundation, Sekelekani, and United Steel Workers of Canada. My name is Zelifa Aqualan.
Anu kwatira banjanga bani mama.